Yogah Karmasu Kaushalam.
Let me first, share my screen and then we go ahead. See, today's agenda, which has been given to me by our, coordinator teams, is we need to discuss, you know, in a world of publish or perish, where, research paper, publication of research paper, and that is also in quality research journals that, all the way government of India is forcing on NEC accreditations and NB accreditations and so on. So there is a lot of pressure on us academician to publish and publish in a very qualitative journal. So good quality journals, we need to present our work or we need to publish our work. So today we'll be talking on that what is the journey of a research paper, that is submission to acceptance, when we are targeting to submit our paper into a very high quality, good impact factor journal. Okay. So, uh, see, this session I would like to take it a more interaction one. So, if you have any query or question, or if you'd like to know more about it, please, raise your hand and we can discuss in between. Okay. So before I start, I'd like to start with, expressing my gratitude to the HRDC and UGC, which gave me a platform to discuss my thoughts on the research journey with you. I'm also thankful to Dr. Mamta Brahmbhatt, who the one who she is coordinating the program, and she has given me this opportunity. And yes, last but not the least, I'm thankful to all the wonderful participants who have joined here and they have decided to invest their 1.5 hours, that is a 90-minute time with me to discuss about this topic. My special thanks to all these people, Professor Pramod Verma, Dr. Jatin Pancholi, Justin Polsa, Matthias Gunn, and my all co-author reviewers and critic friends from whom I have learned a bit about research. With this note, let us start. So this diagram displays the entire process, that what happens when we submit a research paper. So we will briefly discuss this diagram and then we shall be discussing everything in detail in the coming slides. So the process starts with us deciding to submit our paper to a journal. So we are done with the manuscript. We are ready with our paper, and now the battle begins, to get it published. So first we search through the journal. So first we select the journal, and then the second step comes is formatting the paper according to the journal's requirement, because all the journals have different formatting requirements. So then the next step we'll be doing is we'll format our paper according to the journal's requirement. Then the submission happens. So most of the journals which are managed systematically are Scopus listed or ABDC or CABS listed journals. 99.99% journals, they accept the submission through the editorial manager. That means a website or a server which handles the submissions. So then, we create an account in editorial manager. We, give all the basic details, and then we starts with the submission. So we first submit our paper into editorial manager. Once we submit the paper to editorial manager, it goes to the editor desk. That is what is the message comes, that your paper is at the editorial desk. So from that, two decisions can become. The paper can be desk rejected or it can go for peer review. So if the paper is desk rejected, the process will start again. We'll again starting another journal, then the formatting of a paper, and then again submission. Now what happens if the paper goes for a peer reviewer review? Then the paper is given or is sent to the reviewers Generally, depending on the nature of journal, minimum there are 2 reviewers and maximum up to 4, 5 reviewers are also there. So they have been sent to people for reviewing your work. So then editor, decides the reviewers. Then reviewer read your paper. They give comment on the papers, and the review comments again come to the editorial desk. That editor receives comments from the reviewer, and the reviewer can take any of the three decisions. Either the paper directly accepted, congratulations, then in that case you are the luckiest one whose paper accepted directly after review, no improvement needed. Okay. But majority of the time, these are the two decisions which are there. In quality journals, hardly the paper get accepted after revision. They will ask for sorry, hardly the paper get accepted with only one review. Generally, 2, 3 reviews they require. So then, if it is not accepted directly, there can be two possibility. Either the reviewer finds that your paper needs a revision, and that is why you should revise your paper and resubmit it. Or the reviewer finds that the researcher have not rigorously researched paper, then they may think of rejecting the paper as well. So if you get rejection, again you will start with the process, selecting another journal, formatting the paper and submitting. Now if you get revision can be of two types: minor revision and major revision. So the decision is then communicated to authors, that is us, that your paper is getting the. Yes, Mr. Dr. Ashish, we will discuss everything regarding the format and all in the coming sessions. So and make it interactive. If you have any question, just ask me. Just let me complete this diagram in nutshell, and then we are going to go to the every aspect in detail. So if your paper got revision, you will be informed that you need to revise your paper. So then author needs to work on the revision, be it a minor or be it a major, and you need to prepare your draft according to the requirement, and you need to resubmit along with the manuscript, along with your reply, that you have incorporated all these comments which were given by the reviewer. And then again it will go to the review. So this loop will be again revised, that again they will go to review. Reviewer will again come with any of the comments that can be accepted, rejected, or revision. So this loop will continue. This particular loop will continue till the time your paper is reached to any decision, either to accept or to reject. Till that time, this loop will be continuing. Once your paper is accepted, it goes for copy editor. That means in a production team, the team which is working for getting your paper in a printed form or a online form. So over here, the copy editor will look for the language. They look for the style adjustment, completeness of your reference and everything. So if there's any problem, then they'll again send it to author. Okay, so they'll send it to author for cross-checking it, proofreading it, any language edit requires. So this back and forth will again, be continuing till the time the copy editor is not satisfied that the paper now is ready to go to print. So copy editor will communicate with author and will try to solve all the language issue, all the referencing issue, all the style and all the issues. And then it is delivered to the production department to then release it online or to printed. Generally, production, if it is a online publication, then generally within 2 weeks the paper will come online once it is approved, once it is get approved from copy editor. If it is in print, it may take 1 to 6 month time depending on the nature of the journal. So this is in short submission to acceptance process of a research paper. Do you have any doubt up to this point? Else we may go ahead. Any doubt or any question up to this point? Okay, thank you. So now, first and foremost, submitting a research paper to quality journal, you must make sure that it is prepared in a format which is required by the journal. Every journals have their requirement process, and please submit it accordingly. Okay, so for example, I have just taken one example to show you that, let us say we want to submit it to Willy publication, particular journal. Okay, then you need to go and see. You need to read all this requirement, and referencing requirement are there. Okay, journal citations, article citations, book citations, table, figure, and all this is given. Editorial policies and everything is given over here. So you need to read them in detail and make sure that you follow or there are no errors in this, because there are many journals which are straight away rejecting the paper if they are not according to the format required. Now, where the glitch happens is, that many journals write that the journal accept free public, free flow submission. काफी जर्नल ऐसा लिखती हैं कि जर्नल एक्सेप्ट फ्री फ्लो or free format submissions at initial stage, but then also never ever do this. We have a bad experience in the past that when journal write that we accept free flow submission, we submit it in a free flow, and then they keep on asking that no, this is how this has to be done. We require two spacing, we require table to be separate, sent separately, and there are certain journal which rejects also. So these are their games to reject paper easily. So don't be into that trap. Read the thorough guideline, even though they have write that you are allowed to submit in a free format. Never submit like this. Read the detailed guideline and read that how the final version of the paper needs to be submitted. Any query or any question regarding the formatting of a research paper? Then we may take, else we may go ahead. Any specific question regarding the manuscript formatting? Okay. Then the next is, most of the journal, they require you to submit a cover letter as well, along with the format, along with your article. Make sure that you submit it with cover letter. Don't do any error in the cover letter, and don't just write your abstract in the cover letter. Make it precise one, write a cover letter, because this is the most important thing, because editor will not have all the time to read your entire paper. Editor will read the cover letter and decide whether your research will go for review or it is a dissertation. And never ever try to submit a without cover letter or cover letter with error, because yes, uh, ma'am, we are just discussing, and you can please write down, in a while I'll be discussing. So first, start with a name, so many a time what happens is that our paper is being rejected from one journal, so we send the same cover letter in very hurry to other journals, and many a time, I have been into many of the editorial speech, and they say that, it looks very pathetic when you receive a cover letter with which is not having your name, which is having the name of the editor who is of other journal. Clear? So it feels that to the editor that it is an insult of him or her. You haven't taken pain to check the name of the editor as well. So first and foremost, go to the journal site, try to find out who is the editor of the journal, editor in chief. Write down in proper word. They use the word not the editor, they use the word editor in chief. So write down who is the editor. If there are two editors, write down editors and write down both the names. Okay. And then you write your subject that submitting a manuscript. Okay. Then what should be the first line of the cover letter? If you want to pen down, you may pen down that the first line of the cover letter should be that we would like to submit an original research paper. Give me a minute, give me a minute. Let me share you our cover letter with you so that we can discuss. And then I can give you a para and you can, It should start with the name of the editor if there is only one editor. If there are two editors, you please write the name of both the editors. Okay, generally journal follows alphabetical orders, so the way it is, if there are two editors, किसका नाम पहले लिखना है, किसका नाम दूसरा लिखना है, वो भी एक क्वेरी रहती है, तो जिस हिसाब से वेबसाइट पे लिखा है, you please use that version only. So write first that, then write a salutation that is, dear editor, we hope you are in good health, etc. Okay, and then write the title of the paper that we would like to submit our manuscript title XYZ, whatever is your title, authored by, write the name of the author in the sequence where the way it is reflected in manuscript. So first author in manuscript should be written first, then the second author, and so on. For consideration for possible publication in the International Journal of Consumer Study as a research paper. This is also important. Write down what is the type of your research, whether it is a research paper, whether it is a systematic literature review, whether it is a conceptual paper, or so on, so that the editor knows that exactly that what is the work he is referring to. Then in the subsequent para, provide justification. Okay, don't, generally what people do is, because I also serve as an editor and guest editor in few of the journals. So what people do is they just take the abstract, cut it and paste over here, but it should not be written like this. You need to justify why this research was important, what you did and how you did, what are the conclusions. So the entire research paper in a short story, short story should be written over here. Okay, so what our manuscript addresses a pressing issue in the field of sustainable diet, which is gaining significant attention worldwide. The growing adoption of vegan diet is driven by concern related to health, animal welfare, and environmental sustainability. Numerous studies employing various theoretical lens have explored different facet of vegan diet adoption, including nutritional aspect, rest, preference, etc. However, a noticeable gap exists in the term of the integration of theoretical framework for holistic understanding of the adoption of vegan diet and broadening the context of vegan diet adoption in more diverse countries. This gap is exacerbated by the fact that the majority of studies have predominantly been conducted in a Western countries and regions where carnivorous diets are prevalent. Okay, so that is what is written for GAPE, and then India is indeed a unique case as it stands as the world's major vegetarian country. However, it is important to note that Indian vegetarians primarily adhere to a lacto vegetarianism, which allow dairy products while eliminating the meat, fish, poultry, etc. Okay. and dairy product holds integral position and so on. So that is what is two para written to justify that why the in India there was a study, there was a need of a study to look from vegan perspective. Then it is written that our research study aims to fill the research gap by investigating the factors, and then we have mentioned our research question that these are the four research questions which we are answering in this research. To address this question, we conducted a quantitative study gathering response from 504 Indian consumers through a structured questionnaire. Our analysis yielded very valuable insight. It was found that, and then we have mentioned the key conclusions of our research. The findings of our study have significant implication for policymakers, manufacturers, and marketers aiming to promote vegan diet, okay, and so on. So that is what we are writing, that why our study is important. We believe that our manuscript align well with the scope and objective of the journal. We also believe that our research will make a meaningful contribution to the field of sustainable diet and encourage further research into this segment. We would also like to mention that the article is our original work, has not been published, not submitted to any other journal for publication, or not considered for publication. The article has no conflict of interest to our knowledge in the case of publication, and it has not received any financial support. These are the mandatory statement which you must write if you are submitting to a high quality journal, which is Corpus Index, WS Index, and so on, because they are so curious about all this thing. As a corresponding author, I confirm that the manuscript is read well by authors before submission and is approved by them. So, when there are multiple authors, as a corresponding author, you need to guarantee that all the authors have agreed to submit to this journal. What if you submit here and somebody else submit there, and then there is a havoc. So that is the way the cover letter has to be written, where you write in first para, you write that which paper you are submitting, who is the author, then you write why the study was needed, then you write what you did, what gave you address, what are your conclusion, and then write some statutory requirement sentence, and then it is a good to go. So I hope by with this example you understood well that how to write a cover letter. Any question or any doubt? So this research paper, this cover letter was, written for a ABDC A category journal. Uh, the impact factor of the journal is 10. So if you are submitting to a quality journal, they'll not look at your paper if the cover letter is not a standard and rigorous one. So make sure that you write a cover letter which is very super, and it should. What should be, then. What should be then your objective, or what should you keep in mind while writing a research paper? You should have only one question in the mind while writing a research paper or a cover letter for a research paper, that by reading this cover letter, will anybody be interested in reading your book? This should be the question which you need to answer by writing cover letter. कि क्या आपने कवर लेटर इतना अच्छा लिखा है कि ये कवर लेटर पढ़ने के बाद सामने वाले बंदे को ऐसा लगना चाहिए कि क्या आपका रिसर्च पेपर पढ़ना चाहिए, क्या आपका रिसर्च पेपर है वो इम्पोर्टेंट है या नहीं. Yeah. So let us go back to our PPTs. So as we say that publish or perish is our word, and this is my poll question to all of you, that have you ever experienced a desk rejection of your research paper or research papers? Can answer from any of the three, that yes, multiple time, yes, once, or no, not yet. Have you experienced a desk rejection from quality journals? Yes, Krupa, me also in A many times.
Yes, actually waiting to accept my paper. Actually, there are so many corrections. Sometimes desk rejection. Sometime after major correction also not
Yeah,
published.
yeah,
So
yes,
that
yes, yes.
journey is very
Yeah.
painful.
For us is daily. If we are, if we are submitting in a quality journal, it is, like a daily affair. Email खोलो
Yes,
और एक
yes,
rejection पड़ा होगा.
yes, 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 ma'am. Definitely.
So, okay. Then the next question is, how do you feel about it?
Very bad.
Yes, yes, very bad, heartbroken.
Desk,
And this
rejection
is
is
what
very
is
bad.
the, this is what is just, I feel that this is what is the, standard reply, when it is desk rejected. All I wanted
Yes,
was some review, isn't it? That at least review comment milta.
yes, yes. Desk
We were
rejection
not,
is very, very,
yeah,
very like इतना मेहनत करने के बाद once you get that mail ना, that the desk rejection, it looks so like painful.
yeah, and that is what when I talk to any researcher, that about desk rejection, their question is, all we wanted was a review, isn't it? At least हम
Yeah.
accept करने की कहाँ बात कर रहे थे? Review तो दिया होता, we could have
Yes,
improved
yes,
our paper, isn't it?
yes, yes. सही में.
Yes. Okay, and I do agree with Janet that we feel frustrated, we feel dejected, and that is what at the some point psychological aspect of it also I'd like to talk upon is. So desk review is called pre-screening of our paper. Now, what is most important is we must understand that who does the pre-screening. Okay, who does this pre-screening of a paper? Is the editor of the journal who does the pre-screening. Okay, so that is why if our cover letter is not good, chances of high desk rejection. And believe me, if your paper clears the desk, chances of getting accepted increase a lot. Okay, because many of my friend, like Justin Polsar and Matthias Gunn, who is also a editor of ABDC A and 10 Impact Factor Journal, he says that straight away we reject approximately 60% of the paper. Okay. So 60% of the paper are desk rejected. Only the paper which they feel that there is a high chances of getting published, only they go for review, because reviewing is a free job. People are busy. No people want to do a free job. So only very high quality research paper will go under review. Okay, so make sure we don't give much importance to formatting. We don't give much importance to, for writing a cover letter in a good way and all this. And that is what, whenever we are doing this, we are preparing ourselves for desk rejection. So make sure that next time when we submit this, we don't do this mistakes. Yeah. There is an editor of A Star Journal who writes about desk rejections, that desk rejections are quick and efficient, and thus you as the author do not have to wait for editors to find reviewers, for reviewers to do the reviews, and for editors to review the reviewer's review, and so forth. You are set free from the whole long tedious process, isn't it? If your paper go for review, you need to wait a long till the time the review comes, then you need to improve your manuscript and so on. But if it is desk rejected, within few hours the process is over. I have when it was my initial phase of research, I got rejection within few hours of submitting. Okay, that I submitted at 2 o'clock, and at 3 o'clock there is a rejection mail waiting for me. Okay, so the editor writes in a funny way that what is desk rejection? Desk rejection do not burden you with the need to rewrite your paper on the basis of any comments given by external reviewer or by the editor. In fact, if you feel like it, you can just entirely dismiss any comments provided by anybody as long as they are related to desk rejection. What a freedom! You don't have to swallow your pride and write a letter thanking reviewers for the ridiculous ideas, isn't it? That all researchers feel that the reviewers' comments are ridiculous and they don't want to improve. So desk rejection give you that freedom. You need not to improve. कुछ कमेंट है तो भी हमको इम्प्रूव करना है तो करेंगे, वरना इट इज अ डेस्क रिजेक्शन, विल नॉट इम्प्रूव ऑन. Desk rejection keep you busy and help you to avoid boredom because they allow you to spend the weekend searching for new outlet for your work, registering a new submission system, and writing a new and personalized cover letter. Can you possibly think of a better way to spend your weekend? Isn't it that process happens? डेस्क रिजेक्शन आता है तो हम क्या करते हैं, फिर से नई जर्नल ढूंढनी है, नया अकाउंट बनाना है, नया सबमिशन करना है ना. सो डेस्क रिजेक्शन keep us busy submitting in new journal, and we may get exposure to so many journals. Okay, but this is what is the funniest way of writing in a desk rejection. And then going ahead, that editor gives the guideline, that reason and guideline to ensure your paper will be desk rejected. Let us check, are we doing it? So let us see that are we doing this serious mistake which will make sure that our papers are desk rejected. There is a question from Pratha that awaiting review score means clear desk review. Yes, Pratha, we have that entire session in which we'll be in detail discussing that, you know, what status means what. But yes, your Pratha, your paper has cleared the desk. So what are the reasons or guideline? If we will do this mistake, our paper will be straight away rejected. Submit an article that is grossly outside the journal scope. If journals, the paper is outside the journal scope, high chances of desk rejection. Don't create substantial new knowledge. If your paper is just Me Too paper, you know, there is a much trend which I have seen in researcher. Okay, that what they do is they'll find one paper. So they see that, okay, this paper is done in Gujarat, let me do it in Maharashtra and submit it. Okay, so don't, try the quality journals, the journal which very high good reputation and impact factor, they are not interested in publishing a Me Too paper. है ना, एक बार हो गया है वैसा ही रिसर्च आप दूसरी जगह पे करोगे, they are not interested in. So if your paper is not creating substantial new knowledge, they are not interested in. Claim that you have created substantial new knowledge when you have actually not. Now someone's mic is unmute. Can you please mute yourself? We are getting some disturbance. Dr. Ketan, can you please mute yourself? Okay, we are getting bit disturbance. Dr. Ketan? So claim that you have created substantial new knowledge when you actually have not. And this is also a paradoxical situation. So now people know that when you don't have novelty, people will not publish your work. So what researchers do is, for every work, even though it is not a novel, they write that our work is novel, our work is novel. So don't write too much of novel if it is not really a novel. Excuse me, who is Dr. Ketan? Dr. Ketan, can you please mute yourself? Or I please request the administrator that either mute Dr. Ketan sir or ask him to not to continue. Use inappropriate and simplistic method to analyze your data. Currently, the research requirement are high and sophisticated research method. If you do not use high quality research methodology, only chart based and chi-square and ANOVA based research are no more in demand. You need to talk on very high level of statistical analysis. Even MOs and PLS are not in demand now much. If you want to do, go for fuzzy logic, go for metal analysis and so on. Use inappropriate and simplistic method of analysis that we discuss. Report obviously contradictory and inconsistent result. Your result are not consistent with the past literature. Your research are very contradictory. Create an impact or implicit or explicitly screw up with the sample or the data set. You don't define what is your target audience. You don't define your population, your sampling methodology, or it seems that your sampling methodology and research is not clear, or they are not appropriate. It may also lead to a straightaway desk rejection. Bluntly ignoring any available information on journal policy, that you have, the journal has given certain guideline that, though we are XYZ journal, we do not accept such kind of paper, and though you dare to submit such kind of paper, it will be straight away rejected. Like I am from finance field, and we have a category journal called Journal of Portfolio Management. So they have straight away mentioned that if your research are survey based, don't submit it to us. That they write that don't submit your paper if they are survey based, and though you dare to submit it, then you need to be ready for a desk rejection. So don't take journal policy lightly. Be highly creative when it comes to formal style, language, and manuscript structure. So if you write very creative words in your research paper which are not used in research language, then also your manuscript can be rejected. Nowadays, what is happening is so many people are using that quillbot and all this, and to remove the plagiarism, they use writing in a creative way. So that change the entire meaning, and they use some of the words which are used in day-to-day language but not used in a research language. So, for example, recently I reviewed a paper in which it was written the primary community of the college akka students. So akka is a word which is used in serials, and recalling that which famous character was played by which TV actresses. So akka is not the word to use in research. You can use akka word when you are talking, when you are talking about Bollywood celebrities and who played which role, but you cannot write akka or certain kind of words. Right, doing research is not a cakewalk. Okay, or so this kind of word cannot be used as a research vocabulary. Okay, so make sure that you don't be highly creative with writing style. Write in a formal academic style. Focusing on not so interesting topic, though might be of your true interest. See, journals are also the business houses. They need to sell their product. So if you are writing on the topic which is of true interest of yourself, but might not be the interest of reader. Okay, so journals will not be interested in writing you. So please refer wherever you are submitting to any journal or wherever you are selecting the topic. Please see that what is in demand nowadays. Okay, right? Only what is in demand. If nobody wants to read it, the way you write, the best way you write, nobody is gonna publish your work. Submit without language read. That is what is a problem where many of the Indian researchers are getting desk rejection. That we Indian, for us, the English is not a native language. So what we do is we think in Gujarati, we think in Hindi, we think in Marathi, we think in Tamil, and then we write it in English. So the language delivery difference. Yeah, this what we think in a Gujarati language, then we try to write it in a word to word in English language, but in English the meaning might have been changed. We have a grammatical error. The Indians are also called caps lover. That every time whatever they write, they'll do caps and then they'll write. So that is also one of the problems. So please make sure that you get the paper proofread before sending it. There are There are many proofreader available. If you are targeting a high quality journals, you must do proofreading. And you yourself also give 5 6 read, don't just submit. Many a time what happens is that we the researcher are so tired of writing the research paper, and we are in the pressure of getting it published, so hurriedly we don't read it and we send it. So that is called a mind hand misconnection. The that error in our research language. Oh, my slide is not visible. Let me do it. Okay, I hope it is visible now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So, don't do it. Write, read your paper thoroughly, and, have the process. Generally, as a rule, you must read, and that is also after a break of 3 days. That read one. You have read your paper once, give 3 day break, and then read again. Write second read, give a 3 day break and read third time. Okay, give a break, read fourth time, and believe me, every time you will read, you'll find few mistakes. Okay, because that is what is the mind brain issue. Sometimes when we have freshly write the research paper, we miss certain concept or we miss certain word to write, but they are there in our mind. So when we read first time, we think that okay, everything is there. So don't do this. Pause and read, and repeat your paper, read your paper, at least give minimum 5 read before submitting your paper. So if submitting with error, if you'll not read properly your paper 5 6 times, there are high chances that you'll submit your paper with error. And if you commit any of these mistakes or many mistakes together, we are making it sure that our paper will be desk rejected. Any query or any questions over here? So desk rejection is a part of life of a researcher. Okay. But what is something which I would like to discuss is that when we have a repetitive desk rejection, no, it creates self-doubt in us, isn't it? We then are feared of submitting our paper into good journals. Before submitting, we have in our mind that अभी submit किया ना, 2 घंटे बाद desk reject होके आ जाएगा, कल desk reject होके आ जाएगा. And we start discounting in our achievement. That means we in our mind assume that our paper will be not is of not good quality, or we are not a good researcher. So that is what is the syndrome that is known as the imposter syndrome, where researcher start self-doubting when our paper get rejected many a time. It happens with me also, and it might have happened to you as well, that when your paper continuously get rejected, we have a self-doubt कि क्या मुझे research आता है भी है या नहीं, है ना? We have fear of failure. We start discounting our achievements, and then what we do is of much important. We self-reject our paper. So what we do is our good quality paper, but we think that let us quickly put it in UGC journal and get it clear. Okay, the Scopus level paper, we put it in UGC and get it clear. Okay, we try to submit it to the journal where there are publication charge and there are no review. Okay, so easy published journals. So, and because we have a fear of evaluation, that if somebody will evaluate my work will not be clear. So we try to submit into a journal where paise do or publication le lo kind of thing. Okay, so that is what is a very bad thing. And what is the problem is that this kind of journals, they are many a time predatory journals or with very low quality journals, and you will be wasting your entire hard work there. You will not be getting citation if you are publishing in very poor journal. Believe me that currently we are in a battle of publication. The European countries have already started the battle of citation, that you are not considered if you are not there in top 2% scientists. Recently USA published the list worldwide that the researcher who are there in top 2% scientists. So soon, such kind of games will be there in our academics, India as well, where if you write in a poor quality journal, you'll not get citation, and then the decision will be based on your citation, edge rank, and impact factor of yours. So that is why this is very important to not to be disheartened when our paper is desk rejected. Everyone get rejected. I hope you know this personality. J.K. Rowling, the famous writers, the first person to be millionaire from writing a book, Thomas Alva Edison and Amitabh Bachchan, they also were rejected heavily in the initial phase. So don't be disheartened. You keep on writing. Rejections are part and parcel. Desk rejections are part and parcel of a researcher life, and soon you'll be getting success. So now let us say we are the lucky one who did not get this rejection. Our paper went to review process. So now how to handle this rejection? So whenever your paper goes for a review, three decisions can be there. Either it is straight away after review rejected, either there is a major revision, or either there is a minor revision. So if it is a rejection, we have to, work upon the comments given by the editors or reviewers, and then we need to rework upon it, and then we need to resubmit. And then the entire process will start again. So, sorry, why it's called that. So, and we really felt disheartened when it is a rejections revision are there, because we have done a lot of hard work. We have spent so many sleepless nights. We have high expectation from this publication. We have publication pressures as well. And there is a cutthroat competitions in academia, in job market, everywhere, so that is what is paining us. And that is why whenever there is a rejection of paper, we consider that it is a rejection of my paper and my rejection. I don't know why it is changing. So that is what we should not take this, that rejection of paper is equal to my rejection. Otherwise the problem will start. People who feel that, because that is what is the mental error or mental problem we have. We don't like to continue when we are feeling rejected. So what many researchers do is that whenever they get some major revisions, they don't resubmit the paper. Why? Because we think that how they can reject my work. We have that ego issue, and please don't do it. Whenever they are giving you major revision or minor revision, that means they are interested in your paper. Okay, otherwise they would have done straight away rejection. So they are at least interested in your paper. If you do good work, please try to do the revisions. If you are afraid to fail, you'll never succeed, isn't it? So don't please be afraid of failure. These are part and parcel of research life. Got revision, do it. Got minor revision, do it. Got major revision, do it. Got rejection, improve it and resubmit it. That is how we get. Now, if it is a minor revision, you should be very happy that you have gone through a entire race and you are only one step away from the finish line, that is the publication. So minor revision, do it quickly, do it thoroughly, whatever. And minor rejection, that means it is 90% acceptance of your paper, only few changes they want. So please don't screw up your paper now. Okay, complete it and submit it. High chances that after minor revision the paper get clear. Now then comes the major revision. And And I'm sure you must have seen this type of memes in your PhD or research group, that my paper at the time of submission and my paper the way reviewer demanded, or my paper after so many revisions. Do you agree with this? Have you been to this? Have you gone through this type of memes? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, do you agree to it that it happens that our so-called, so finely written manuscript, when the reviewer asks to review, it becomes like a clown, or they ask us to change in such a way. Okay. So now let us see. See, it is a perspective issue. So let us say as a researcher, we might be feeling that we have written a research paper which really looks like this handsome guy. Okay, and my reviewer is asking me to dressed in a clown way. Okay. What if reviewers are thinking the other way? I have just done the mirror image of it. What if the reviewer are thinking that the paper is written in a funny way and they are giving you suggestion to make it in a handsome looking guy way? Isn't it true? Okay, because your paper is your perspective. The reviewer reading your paper is his perspective, and people may differ in perspective, isn't it? So, never ever think that the paper which is written by you is the best one, and whatever comment reviewer are giving are for, not so improving the quality of your research work. Try to think that there are different perspectives, and generally, the good research journal, they have the researcher or reviewer who are very qualified in their field. At least they have plethora of knowledge, and that is how they are thinking. They are thinking from the different angle from where you are not able to see it. So never ever, think that. And what if that kind of dress is only in demand, that people would like to read such kind of paper only? We should have end in our mind that our goal is to get the paper published, not to see that how it was looking before and how it was looking after. Does it make any point if it was looking so handsome, or if somebody looks so beautiful, even they can compete Miss World? Okay, but what if they are not crowned Miss World, or that is what is not in demand? She have not applied for it, So never ever think from that point of view that what you written is the best one. Always be open to criticism and always be open to change. Have the end goal in mind. Being making it clown also, if it gives you publication, what is the problem in it? I hope you are getting my point. So remember, the reviewer's feedback is intended to enhance the quality and impact of your research. Okay, so always think positively. We have a choice in life, that thinking negatively and thinking positively. Okay, so don't think that your research work is something very superior and whatever review comments are all bullshit. They are not there. First of all, accept that, or be thankful that somebody did review of your paper at free of cost, because most of these review assignment are free of cost. And the paper, sometimes it is not read in detail by the authors also as much as it is read by reviewers. You might not have been able to find out few mistakes in your paper, but reviewers are helping you to do it again at a free of cost. The proofreaders in our market are charging somewhere between 10,000 to 15,000, and that fellow is doing it for free of cost. So please, show your gratitude to your reviewers, and their aim is to improve your work only. So always have that positive mindset. They are there to help you out. And please try to understand, down the line when you will go 5-10 years, you will also feel the same. And if you want to write good research, I'll advise all of you to be a reviewer of good journals. At least you'll be able to know that how they are writing. Then the next portion which we want to discuss is handling reviewers' comment. So whenever you get the review, major or minor, after submitting your review, after revising your paper, you need to also submit a document called reviewer's response to reviewer's comment. Okay. So you need to take into consideration, be polite and professional, remain calm and objective, read and understand the comments. Don't just try to or jump on revising your manuscript. First, read the reviewer's comment twice, thrice. Try to understand what they want to tell you exactly and then revise. Evaluate the validity and relevance. At what point or what are the ways where you need to improve? Whether it is by changing one line you'll be able to satisfy, or by changing entire para, or by changing entire script. How are you gonna justify this comment? Respond promptly. Don't take too much of time. Generally most of the journals give you 1 month or 2 month time. So make sure that you submit your revision within the time. Do not take time more than given time. If there are certain conditions that, for example, a researcher is not in good health, or they are, it's certain family events which are planned and you must have been there and you will not be able to submit in due time, then write it. Write it in advance to the journal that you need some more time, and definitely they'll grant you some more. Organize your response. So how to write a response letter, that is also one of the art which researcher needs to learn. Okay, we'll see after we complete this. I'll show you my response letter also, that how a research response has to be written. Respond systematically and revise and improve. Whenever you are writing your reviewer comments, read it again, read that also twice or thrice, read it and revise and improve your response answers. So let me share and let me show you the response comment and discuss how do we need to write. And then we will also discuss how to do that changes. So see, generally in a manuscript, there are comments from two parties, reviewer and editor. So first, response to the comments from editor, that those comments given by editor needs to be, responded first. So first respond to all the editor's comment, then start with the reviewer's comment, and again go line wise. Okay, whatever or whoever is the reviewer one, first give response to reviewer comment one, then give comment to response, solve the comments by reviewer 2 and 3 and 4, so on. आपके पेपर में जितने भी reviewers हैं, go like this. And doesn't make any difference. Many a time it happens that the same comments is given by both the reviewer. Okay, that change the language or change the, or read the paper or proofread it, or there is certain mistake, clear it. So then you have to respond twice, because there is a ego issue. Reviewer 1 will not look at reviewer 2's response, and reviewer 2 will not look at reviewer 1's response. And again, sometimes they are not sent also. Reviewer 1 will send his response, reviewer 2 will be sent his response. So that is why whatever comments, write down a systematic way, write down their comment and write down your response. and write in a polite language. So see, just let me give you that I found this article pretty exciting and timely. This is generally interesting topic. It is reasonably well articulated and written. However, there are some recommendations for the authors XYZ, and then they have given the. So then how we are responding? We would like to express our gratitude for taking time to review our article. We are pleased to hear that you found the topic of our paper exciting and timely. Your feedback is invaluable to us and we appreciate your positive comment on overall quality. Thank you for your suggestion. And then we have then they have given another comment that on page number 3, line 25, you refer to SDG and you should put sustainable development goal after SDG. Also, it seems appear to be rather abruptly and needs to be rewritten contextually. So see, that may happen that it was our oversight that we directly mentioned SDG, assuming that everybody knows sustainable development goal, but it was not the correct way. So they have pinpointed our comment. So we appreciate your meticulous observation on page 2, and then we say that we already changed this. So this way you need to respond to every comment individually, and if there are small changes you can write what you did. If there are big changes you can write that where you have done the changes. So section 1, page number 1 to 6, discussion, section 5, subsection 5.1, finding and discussion 32 to 37 number page. So you need to mention that where you have changed, in what page number you did the change. Everything you need to mention. It should be so detailed. Why it should be so detailed? Because many a time we reviewer don't look at the paper again and again. We just go for the reviewer comments that whether they have incorporated everything or not. And if we find that yes, it was done, we clear the paper from that. So write the reviewer's response or comments so thoroughly and so detailed so that they seldom explain. Your reviewer comments para seldom explain that what changes you have done. And don't worry about the length, write it in detail, don't worry. Now see, in this only it is of 19 pages. Our response comment is even equivalently long as our research paper. So don't be afraid of writing long. Write in detail. They should feel. See, that is what little psychology also plays, that the reviewer should feel that it was, or you value their input and you appreciate their help and you are doing it. Okay, so that is why you need to satisfy their ego too. They are doing a free work for you, and if you don't, agree to that, don't do much of rebuttal. I hope you are aware about the concept called rebuttal. Rebuttal means don't agreeing to the reviewer's view. Okay. If in the entire paper, if there are one or two comments where you think that it is not possible for you to to change or to add this, then you need to do rebuttal. That means your suggestion is good, but at present we are not able to do this. And then you need to write why you are not able to do this. But don't just to every comment, then don't just do rebuttal. That means thank you for the suggestion, but we can't do it. Okay. If in all the entire comments, if it's only for one or two, it's fine, but don't do it for all. And publication is a journey of patience. If you are going for a quality paper publication, it will gonna take long time. So in the research, to lose the patient is lose the battle. So be patient and keep on working and keep on improving your research. Now we are talking about review process status. It was also one of the question from the audience that what are the review process. So when you submit the manuscript, the status will be manuscript submitted. Then it will go to editor. So then editors invited. Are we done with the session, or we have 2-3 more minutes to discuss? Because I'm getting feedback informative sessions. So am I supposed to stop here, or we can discuss this review process?
We can discuss, ma'am.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay. So when you submit the manuscript, the status will be manuscript submitted. Then when the manuscript will send to editor, because this is a manuscript portal are generally handled by the clerk and the administrative staff of journal. So when they will receive your paper, they'll check for the completeness, that whether your paper is complete or not in all aspect of formatting and everything. If they find that okay, it is complete, then they'll send it to editor. So then you will see it is with editor or editor invited kind of status. Every journal have different words to use, but in short, it means that now the paper is with editor. Then editor will take any of the decision, that whether it is desk rejected by editor, or if they find it useful, they will invite the reviewer. If the paper is desk rejected, then the journey of the paper with that journal is over, and then you will go for the another paper. But now if the papers is cleared from the desk, it is then the status is changed to under review. So under review means your paper is being reviewed. And again, in certain journals, there are 2-3 status used, that reviewer invited, requested reviewer, accepted the review, and so on. But broad and broad, it means that your paper is under review. Once the reviewer submit their feedback, the status will change to required reviews completed. Okay, then the reviewer's review will be again sent back to editors. So at that time, the process is, or the status is changed to decision in process. And then any decision, either it is rejected or major revision, the decisions are there. If it is rejected, this journey ends there. Else, you need to revise. Give me a minute, please. Then you need to revise. So if you revise the paper, it is under revision kind of status will be there. Then after revision, you again submit your revised manuscripts, or status will be revised manuscripts. And this loop will be, continuing till the time all the review to acceptance or rejection decisions are. Then after revision, there might be certain cases where the author don't revise and submit. Then the journals will have the status as author declined to revise, complete withdrawal. So after a while, they'll wait for a month or so, and they'll update the status that completed withdrawal. That means author have withdrawn the paper from there. Or after revision also the paper is rejected, then they'll write completed, process is completed, then the status is rejected. So the process is over. Or it can be completed and accepted. So your paper might be accepted. So they'll then write that accepted. So this is what is in nutshell. In short, all the status which are there in the good quality journals, where the journal submission is managed by editor, editorial management software. These are the certain tabs which will guide you that at what stage your paper is. So this is all about today's presentation. And I believe that your feedback, whether it is positive or negative, is a valuable gift that will help me to grow and improve. So please feel free to provide a feedback of it. These are my contact information. My WhatsApp number is 9377680404. This is my email address, and I'm available on LinkedIn as well. If you need any help in your research and publication journey, just contact me. I'll try to help in whatever capacity I can help you. That is what is the mission of my life, to help the researcher and telling them the ground reality of research. So with this, I conclude from my side that thank you for your time and listening. Wishing you a happy research life.